In WWE, we often witness intense and brutal wrestling matches where one superstar unleashes a vicious attack on another. These moments can be thrilling, but also extremely dangerous. In today's video, let's talk about 5 shocking incidents where a wrestler not only injured their opponent, but actually ended their career. These weren't just regular moves or scripted moments. Some of them had real-life consequences. In fact, there was even a tragic moment inside the ring when Rey Mysterio accidentally caused the death of his opponent during a match. Wrestling might be entertainment, but these incidents remind us that the risks are very real. So let's take a closer look at some of the most devastating moments in WWE history, where the action went too far and careers, and in one case a life, were lost inside the squared circle. Number 5. Owen Hart vs. Stone Cold Steve Austin. SummerSlam 1997 incident. At WWE SummerSlam 1997, one of the most unforgettable and unfortunate incidents in wrestling history took place. Stone Cold Steve Austin faced Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship. The match was electric, filled with intensity and energy from both superstars. However, the match took a serious turn when Owen Hart attempted a piledriver on Stone Cold. The move was botched terribly. Owen delivered a piledriver in a seated position instead of kneeling, which dangerously compressed Steve Austin's neck. The result was horrifying. Austin's neck was broken on the spot. Despite being severely injured, Stone Cold somehow managed to roll Owen Hart up for a weak but legal pinfall, winning the Intercontinental Championship. However, the injury was so severe that Steve Austin had to relinquish the title shortly afterward and take an extended hiatus from in-ring competition. When he returned to WWE, although still hugely popular and impactful, he was never quite the same physically. His in-ring style had to change dramatically, shifting from technical wrestling to a more brawler-like approach. Austin himself admitted he lost some of his edge and agility after the neck injury. This moment is now remembered as a turning point in Stone Cold's career, both in terms of fame and limitations. While it propelled him into legend status, it also marked the beginning of ongoing neck problems that would ultimately shorten his wrestling career. Number 4. Jose Estrada Jr. vs. Edge. Edge's WWE debut match. Edge made his WWE debut with excitement and momentum, eager to make a name for himself. In one of his first matches, he was set to face Jose Estrada Jr., a member of the Puerto Rican wrestling faction, Los Boricua. However, things went terribly wrong during the match. As Edge launched himself from the ring apron onto Estrada outside the ring, the move didn't land as intended. Edge's leg came crashing down directly on Estrada's head, causing a severe and unexpected injury. Estrada was unable to continue the match and lay motionless at ringside. Initially, many fans thought it was part of the show, but it soon became clear something had gone terribly wrong. Estrada suffered a serious neck and head injury from the impact. Though not immediately diagnosed as life-altering, the aftermath was devastating. Estrada never returned to WWE after that match. It was later reported that his injury was so severe he had to retire from professional wrestling altogether. The incident had a lasting emotional impact on Edge as well, as he never intended to injure someone in his first outing. This moment is now remembered as one of the most unfortunate botches in debut match history. Not because of Edge's intent, but because of how a simple miscalculation led to a career-ending injury for Estrada. Number 3. Dello Brown vs. Draz, the match that ended a career. More than 2 decades ago, a match between Dello Brown and Draz, Darren Drozdov, ended in one of the most heartbreaking real-life injuries in professional wrestling. The incident occurred during a routine match where Dello attempted his signature running powerbomb. Unfortunately, the move went completely wrong. Draz was reportedly wearing a loose shirt that may have interfered with the grip, and Dello lost control mid-execution. As a result, Draz was dropped directly on his head. The impact shattered his vertebrae, and Draz was immediately paralyzed from the neck down. The match was stopped immediately, and emergency personnel rushed to the ring. Draz was stretchered out and hospitalized. Despite surgeries and extensive rehabilitation, he remained paralyzed for the rest of his life. WWE later featured the story in multiple retrospectives, showing just how dangerous wrestling can be. even when performed by trained professionals. Dello Brown has publicly expressed deep sorrow and regret for the accident, although Draz himself has always insisted it was just a tragic accident and never blamed Dello personally. This incident serves as a sobering reminder that no matter how choreographed wrestling may appear, the risks are very real. Number 2, Goldberg vs. Bret Hart, WCW's Devastating Kick, 1999. In 1999, during a WCW match between Goldberg and Bret the Hitman Hart, one swift and unfortunate moment ended a legendary career. Goldberg, known for his explosive power and high-impact moves, delivered a thunderous kick to Bret Hart's head, a move that would have lasting consequences. The kick was meant to be a standard super kick spot, but Goldberg connected with incredible force and imprecise aim, striking Bret in the head with a devastating impact. Hart collapsed immediately. Though he managed to finish the match, he was clearly disoriented. In the days that followed, Bret began experiencing severe symptoms consistent with a concussion. Despite attempting to wrestle through the pain, doctors eventually diagnosed him with post-concussion syndrome. The injury not only kept him out of action, but ultimately forced him to retire from in-ring competition altogether. Bret Hart has since spoken openly about the incident, blaming Goldberg for being too reckless and untrained in the ring. He has often stated that Goldberg ended his career with that one move. For fans, it was a crushing moment, seeing one of the greatest technical wrestlers of all time have his career cut short due to a single botched kick. This incident is widely remembered as one of the most tragic career-ending moments in wrestling history, and a stark example of how even one mistake can have life-altering consequences. Number 1, Rey Mysterio's dropkick leads to tragic in-ring death. One of the most heartbreaking incidents in wrestling history occurred in 2015 during a match involving legendary luchador Rey Mysterio. The match took place in Mexico under the AAA promotion, where Rey teamed up with Extreme Tiger in a tag team bout against Perro Aguayo Jr. and Monic. During the course of the match, Mysterio delivered a standard dropkick that sent Perro Aguayo Jr. into the ropes, setting up his signature 619 move. However, after taking the dropkick, Aguayo slumped over the middle rope and appeared motionless. When Mysterio executed the 619, it became evident that something was wrong. Aguayo did not react. At first, the wrestlers and officials were unsure about the seriousness of the situation, but concern quickly spread throughout the ring. Medical personnel rushed in, but tragically, Perro Aguayo Jr. had already passed away due to the impact, believed to be from a whiplash-type injury to his neck and spine. Aguayo was only 35 years old when he died in the ring as a result of what initially seemed like a routine move.